and gentlemen, let's go. Lifestyle, wellness, and a damn good time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Hit it. You're listening to the Holistic Life Podcast, presented by Say What Radio.
Welcome to the Holistic Life Podcast. I'm Jenny.
Oh, man. I'm Jay.
See, right before this, we were like doing some Mario tunes, and Jay was like, hey, the problem about being married to a musician and someone who knows shit is when you don't know shit, it's obvious. So that's why I opened up singing.
Pretty obvious.
What? Am I singing?
I know that you're awesome.
Oh, good answer. See, there's marriage 101. Treat your other with respect and tell them how awesome they are, even when you don't believe it in the moment. What up, guys? All right. So welcome to another episode of the show. I'm excited about the topic today.
Why? Per se. Pray tell.
Well, whenever you say pray tell, when anybody says pray tell, you know what I think of?
What do you think of?
I think of that show.
Which show?
Pose.
Why? Oh, the dude's name.
The dude's name is Pray Tell.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's
I think Pray Tell.
Cool,
I think of Pose. If you haven't seen Pose, go to Netflix and watch Pose. All right. So I'm excited for today's topic, Pray Tell, because I don't know, man. Like, I feel like this is my personal opinion, the way I feel right now in this moment, is that we all know that 2020 has come to us in like 17 ways to Sunday. And there's been so many different things, and there's still a lot going on. But as humans, I feel like we adapt to the scenario. It's like, oh my God, everything's horrible. And then things may still be horrible, or maybe they're not, but we get to choose how we respond to what's going on. And for me, a quote I just saw recently, and it really hit home for me, is for every minute you spend being angry, you lose out on 60 seconds of happiness.
Profound.
So with that being said, I'm excited to talk about this topic. I think because it's like something else that I believe is really hitting a lot of people right now. And it's about how to be healthy without depriving yourself. Let's see, March is when things started to kick off with quarantine, stay at home, things dramatically changing, right? So we go March, April, May, June, July, 5 months. We're 5 months in. And somewhere between March and now, or maybe here within the next few weeks or months, you're going to be like, oh crap, what the heck happened? I gained weight, or I've been gaining weight.
I honestly think at this point, it's not going to be, oh crap, I gained weight. Like, I strongly feel people are like,
they know it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like, it's kind of hard not to, in my opinion.
Better way of saying it is, I know I gained weight. It's time to do something about it.
Okay.
Maybe that's the difference in the shift. It's not like, oh crap. It's like, oh, I'm effing sick of this. At least that's how I feel when I'm like carrying extra weight and it kind of hits me and I'm like, okay, enough's enough. Get it off. Right. And then I think that some people believe that you have to deprive yourself in order to be healthy or in order to lose that weight.
It's such a sensitive topic. It's such...
Pray tell.
Such a sensitive topic and so many different opinions. Not saying mine is right, but it's interesting knowing the science behind eating and all this stuff and have someone go to what I consider left or right, depending on where you are, right? Basically go to an extreme because they've become a little chumbawamba the past few months. So it's like when people are like, oh, I'm going to work out 16 times a day and only eat lettuce. Like, why? That sounds horrible. It sounds boring.
That's super extreme, right? Because we do know somebody who's gone that direction. But then think about all the other things that mainstream tells us. Mainstream tells us, okay, you have to stop eating sweets. You have to stop drinking alcohol. You have to work out X amount of times a day or a week, 4 to 6 times for 60 to 90 minutes. You have to follow this plan in order to get results. You can't have any more breads or carbs, like all these rules when we go and we Google, or we go and we ask our friends, or we go and we're like, all right, time to get this shit together. And then those are all the default responses. And the thing is a lot of those things, like they work, they're going to provide results, but I don't know, Jay, like thing is you and I are kind of like, but do they?
No.
Yeah, like
no, I'm definitely like,
no, we both are, but that's what I'm saying. Like they work, right? You can follow a plan, you can stop eating and doing all these things, and those things work. But that's the problem. Like those things give you short-term results with a lot of added stress that give you massive rebound, that leads you to roller coaster results, that leads you to gaining more weight, that leads you to being more frustrated than you were when you started, because it's like doing a 180 and it's following all these can'ts.
I definitely agree. I get it to a point, but then again, I don't get it because it absolutely makes no fucking sense to me. Unless you're a professional athlete and it's your job.
Or you're training for triathlon, or you're training for a competition. You're training to go hike 60 miles in a day. I don't know. I mean, like something.
Well even with that, why?
Bodybuilding.
I don't hike. So I think the hiking example is a little, I'm not going to say far-fetched, but it's...
I don't agree. And here's why. I follow a girl, her name is Fearless Sarah on Instagram, and she just did like a 60 miles something. I don't know. Maybe it was 100 miles. Maybe it was 300 miles. I don't know. Whatever it was some big long hike thing that she did, and she trained all the way up to it. But she's also done multiple through hikes. So she's done the Pacific Crest Trail. She's done the Appalachian Trail. She's done...
I was saying disagree is like it's part of her training, not eating. You know, she only eats once a day.
No. Not the once a day. That's the extreme.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about where you do these things that kind of feel extreme to the average Joe and James, but it's a part of, let's say, like athletes, professional athletes, bodybuilders, people who hike like that.
Well, that was the point. We were talking about unless you are an athlete or hiking.
Well, yeah, but I was talking about the extreme of depriving yourself, quote unquote, for a specific amount of time to get to, let's say you're cutting weight. You know what I'm saying? You're cutting weight for a fight, or you're doing it
because all you guys out there are in fights, right?
Right. Getting ready for a physique show. But you're doing that for a certain amount of time. But for the individuals who... You got fucking jobs, man. You're an accountant. What are you eating once a day for? Like, why are you working out 3 times a day to crunch somebody's taxes? Not knocking the accountants. I love you guys, but I'm just saying.
Insert any job there,
yeah,
honestly.
Exactly. My point, when you have a typical 9 to 5 where you're commuting to work, you're clocking in, not where you're getting paid to go 12 rounds, you know, and you need to be 150 pounds to make weight for this fight. That's what I was talking about, the extreme. Or taking it to the other side, like not extreme, like eating once a day, but you're training for those specific things to do those particular goals. Now, if you do clock in from a 9 to 5 and you do plan to do a through hike, I get it. That's something totally different. But I'm talking about the people who are like, oh my God, let's just be open and honest, guys. I fucking let myself go for whatever reason, not judging. I just didn't care, or whatever your reasoning is. And now I'm going to do something extreme to try to get back to where I was, or to drastically get rid of this weight. No.
Because I've done this before. It's almost like this weird way of punishing yourself. Maybe not weird. It's just this way of punishing yourself, because it's like, oh, I did bad, so now I have to do good, and I have to follow these rules.
That would be a good conversation we need to double back to in a show, in an article or something, but the mindset behind self-sabotage, because that is serious. I had a conversation with a friend of mine earlier this week who is in the healthcare field. She's a healthcare provider, and she knows probably the science, the inner workings of the body better than I do. And for her to talk about the self-sabotage, this shit is real. So we definitely should double back to that, because that could be a conversation within itself. But as you were saying, it's kind of like, I've been bad, I need to punish but even with that, like the mindset behind, I've done something bad, I need to punish myself. Like, wow, that's deep within itself.
I think the thing is because we can get things so quickly in so many other aspects of our life. You can download an app and have access immediately. You can buy a program like the Thrive Guide and get access immediately. You can go to the store and buy something and walk out with it. You can get things now and we
I,
want
I
results
I
now.
get that mindset, but still, even with that, it's not like you ate a cookie or you ate a slice of cake and gained 15 pounds. It doesn't work like that. So for that type of mindset to work, in my opinion, it's like, okay, I want to lose weight tomorrow, but you didn't gain the weight yesterday. It was a process that you did to get to where you are like right now. So it has to be a process to undo what you've done previously. Yeah. We all wish we could like hit a button or, 2-day delivery on your new body. And I think that's part of the thinking. It's like, oh, I need to do this extreme thing to get rid of this weight that I've accumulated over the past 3 months.
Yeah. The couple of things I'm thinking, that's like if we go back to the statement I said, all of those things work, or do they? The reason we say, or do they, is because, and we challenge that, is because, look, you could go buy Insanity, P90X, right? Like those are super hardcore workout programs. You could do them for 60 days. You could follow the nutrition to a T. They will deliver results, period. They will. But the thing is the average person, the average human being, the average 9-to-5 entrepreneur, like the average person who's in their 30s, 40s, 50s, who has other things going on, you may do that for the 30, 60 days. And then you're like, okay, I got my results. Let me just take a step back. And then other things creep in, and then life creeps back in, and then you end up gaining all the weight back. Some people are able to keep it off, but we're talking about the majority of people who...
Yeah, those programs are awesome for what they are, but that's an amazing business plan that Carl Daikeler put together and the avenue he was able to open up for a lot of the people in the fitness industry. But think about it. A lot of those workouts are 30, 60, 90 days. After you're done, you can redo those. But who's going to redo a 90-day program? Well, I know a couple of people.
Right, because there's a small percentage of people where that works.
I knew this dude who did P90X for 4 years straight. Like, he just got to the end and repeated, Dude got awesome results, but,
Once again, it provides results. But the thing that we're talking about is using deprivation or using punishment or using these strategies to lose weight.
Right.
Right? Because you're like, oh, shit, I'm a chumbawamba. It's time to change.
Right.
And I'm getting more into the mindset. We'll have to do an episode on that. But it's almost like you're drawing a line in the sand. You're like, enough is enough.
Right.
And then you like step forward on that line. You're like, okay, I'm not going back to any of those things. And then you do good for a day, 3 days, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks if you're really lucky. Maybe you make it to 30 days. Maybe you make it to 60. And then what happens?
I don't know, Jen. You have me on the edge of my seat here.
Okay. So we all know you gain the weight back. So can you please raise your virtual hand if you have been on this cycle?
Put your hands down. No judgment.
No, like
Just-
not
just-
even,
Just,
it's not
just
even a
nod your head.
judgment thing. I'm just saying, yeah,
Just-
nod
just-
your head.
Just blink. just give us a smirk.
Blink. I'm going to need you to blink now.
Right. Just.
Yeah.
You're not agreeing. You're not disagreeing. Just,
So Jay, what are some ways we can be healthy without depriving ourselves?
knowing it's a process. First and foremost, understanding it's a process. You didn't gain the weight overnight, so no quick fix is going to get you to lose the weight overnight. So being mindful, if you've been eating takeout, because of course we want to support our local businesses. Some of our local businesses has awesome and amazing foods. So instead of getting the spicy Thai chili chicken wings 7 days a week, throw in a salad. Maybe some edamame in there.
Maybe do it 6 days instead of 7.
Talking to myself. But yeah, like weaning, because you have to have a certain mental conditioning. You have to be a special type of person, because what we do, there's all patterns. It's all patterns. So for you to just drop what you were doing and to like pick up a whole new set, a whole new brand of patterns, you have to be a special type of individual. So it's slowly changing those patterns and finding out what works, what's going to move you toward your goal. In this case, might be losing weight, but I challenge you to look deeper than that, than just losing weight, because after you lose the weight, then what? Like, I feel that's such a superficial goal because you can do that in a matter of time. And after you do it, it's like, okay. So that's part of the yo-yo, the roller coaster thing. It's like, my goal is to lose weight. No, I feel your goal should be deeper than that. Because if your goal is deeper than that, if your goal is something that attaches to your soul, you're going to look for something that just, I don't know, twists you around internally that you want to do. Like, if you have kids, I want to be able to run and play with my kids without being tired in 10 minutes. Like, guaranteed. If that is your goal, you're going to lose weight. Losing weight will be a byproduct of doing the other things because it's going to happen. So trusting the process, understand it doesn't happen overnight. Be kind with yourself.
You talked about the empowering questions like, is this leading me closer to my healthy goals?
Yeah, I feel that's a simple one. Like, until you, because we're mentally in autopilot a lot. We just do things. I'm hungry. Let me go to the store or get whatever. Instead of like in that moment saying, "Ooh, I'm hungry. Chick-fil-A got the 2 for 1. I'm going to Chick-fil-A." In that second being like, okay, I went to Chick-fil-A yesterday. Is going to Chick-fil-A again today moving me towards my goal or moving me away from my goal? And answering that honestly. And if you're going to be like, oh, it's moving me towards, I don't think losing weight should be like, you should find another thing.
What you said there is a nice nudge or slap in the face, depending on who you are, right? Because it's kind of like, okay. And what I want to add on that is, if that's the case, sometimes you're just not ready.
Yeah.
And so if you recognize you're not ready, take some of the stress out of your life.
And just be honest with yourself.
By constantly being like, oh, I got to lose weight. And then like, you're not ready and you're not willing to do the things.
Right.
It's causing you so much more turmoil.
Right.
Than it's worth. Just accept that that's where you are right now. Be okay with it.
Right.
And know that there is light at the end of the tunnel when you're ready to go in that direction.
But you have to be ready, because if you're not ready, you're going to waste time and money, not only yours, but someone else's, especially if you hire a trainer who is trained to help you get on a healthier path, and you're just kind of taking up time. You're taking up the space for someone who is ready. So yeah, be open and honest with yourself and be okay with being open and honest and say, yes, I want to do this, but I'm just not ready. I'm just not ready. And trust me, you'll know when you're ready, because it will either come in one or two ways. You get up, you put on your favorite outfit and it doesn't fit, and you try something else and it doesn't fit, or you go in for your annual checkup and your doctor walks into the room and says, yeah.
You're either running towards something that you're excited for, or you're running away from something you're afraid of. You get to choose. There's two different ways that we get motivated as humans. I would rather run towards something I'm excited for than run away from something. That's my personal choice, although the run away from something is a very powerful motivator, like the doctor example.
Mm-hmm.
But I would rather do it on my terms, right? I'd rather be running towards something I'm excited for.
I feel most people should want to do it on their own terms, because it sucks to have somebody tell you you have to be on a certain type of medication and then you not wanting to be on that medication. And
you're fighting it the whole way. Think about all the extra stress that you're causing in your mind and body that is going to continue to further the disease and the unrest and how everything else that you feel, because stress has been proven clinically and scientifically to cause more disease in your body.
Yep.
Thank you for confirming.
You're welcome.
So guys, we get it. We've been there. We've done it all. We've tried it all. We've carried the extra weight. Jay grew up in Texas. I lived in Texas for a short period of time, and they aren't kidding that everything's bigger in Texas. Like, holy crap. And the food is amazing, and I definitely partook. But the thing is deprivation is not the answer. Being healthy can be fun. You can make it fun. It doesn't mean you have to eat carrots and lettuce for the next 7 days or the rest of your life. It doesn't mean that you're going to start working out 3 times a day and only eat once a day. It doesn't mean that it has to be this long, grueling process. So bottom line, as we've gone over today, is deprivation is not the answer. it may feel like it's the best thing to do. And I mean feel as in like you're totally getting tricked. There's like that crazy magician trickster, like evil villain that you see on the shows. I wish I could remember some of their names. I just watched a Supergirl episode and that Nexty Booksty, whatever the guy's name is, who's like the magician who tricks. It was the one who tricked her into trying to marry him back in earlier in the seasons, and he just popped back up. And he's like this trickster, and he's a magician. That's what I'm trying to say. The solutions out there are like the Nexty books with whatever. You guys are going to kill me. Anybody who's like super into this knows the name.
Hey, shout out Supergirl.
Yeah, right?
Not.
Jay is not a huge fan, but he's going to force himself to watch the last season. So anyways, is that all of these sparkly, like, think about all the marketing behind all of the solutions that are out there that are the quick fixes, because the fitness and health industry and all the major marketers in there, because it is what, a billion, multi-billion dollar industry? Trillion. I always screw that up. It's $1 trillion industry. So think about all the money behind, because they know that you're feeling and mad and frustrated and you want a fix now. And then bling, here comes this lose weight by putting this thing on your body and it's going to suck all the weight out of you. Or
10 pounds in 10 days.
Yeah, 10 pounds in 10 seconds. Those things are out there. And please, 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 if you're part of our world, now you know. You can't claim that you don't know, right? Like once you know something, you can't go back on it. You're learning right here from the Hollas.
You can, but that's really not going to help you because it's going to come out and you'll be like, fuck.
So if you're sick of struggling, come join us in our free Facebook group and meet other like-minded individuals. You can get an invite through that by joining our Ohana, which is 2jholla.com/Ohana. Talk to you next time.
You can subscribe to the Holistic Life Podcast from your favorite streaming platform. And don't forget to check out 2jholla.com to stay in the know as an official 2JH Insider. Mahalo for tuning in. And until next time, that's our show.